Hey guys, this is Sean with Epic Construction, and today we're going to talk about date of loss. An example of a date of loss is a hailstorm that came through and hit your home. Whether it caused damage to your roof, to your gutters, to your fence, maybe caused a leak and now you have interior damage, but the day that this storm came by is what is called the date of loss. This is important because when you call your insurance company and file a claim, they're going to ask you what the date of loss is. When did this damage occur? My honest recommendation for anyone is tell them you honestly don't know. As your contractor, I can get up on your roof, take a look around your property, and say yes or no, you do or don't have damage. I can look at things and get an idea of when they happened, but there's no way you can't really go back and like carbon date and say, hey, this hailstorm right there, this hail hit on your shingle, this one happened 6 months ago, and this one over here happened 3 years ago. Now, if you get 10, 15 years away, there's a way to tell that, but relatively speaking, there's not an easy way to tell the difference. So I'm just there to tell you if you have damage or not, and then recommend having your insurance company come out and take a look. So long story short, we're going to let them do their investigation. They have software and technology to go through and look and see how many hailstorms come by in the coverage time, how significant they were, the wind speed, the hail size, the velocity, all these things. We're going to let them do that. And the reason that's really important is, for instance, we have a file that we're working on currently. It's been about 8 months we've been working with the insurance company. They came out and looked at the roof and said there was no damage, and I highly disagreed. I recommended this customer go through a process that's called an appraisal process, where a third party comes in and does an investigation and says, is there damage, yes or no, and what does it take to fix all of this. We went through that process. They were awarded $52,000 to have their roof replaced, their gutters, and some minor other things completed. However, somehow the insurance company got April 13th as their date of loss. There was no storm that came by on April 13th. The storm came by on April 23rd. So they're now denying it. We spent 8 months, spent a few $1,000s going through appraisal, having an umpire involved, and all of our time and effort, and then they're saying no, because instead of the 23rd, they wrote the 13th. This now possibly has to go through a lawsuit, or the process has to start all the way back over because of the date of loss. If it was an internal error on the insurance company's side, that can be easily resolved and there's no concerns. If for some chance this homeowner possibly said, hey, I think the storm happened on April 13th, then at that point the insurance company didn't make a mistake and there's nothing to go back and fix. At that point, they have to eat that money they invested in the appraisal process and start all back over. So this is why we recommend let them come out, let them do their job. It's their job to determine if there's damage, to determine if the policy allows coverage for that damage. So it's a tricky area, but I promise you they have all the resources available to determine when that storm came through and all of those things to determine if there's coverage or not. So long story short, if you call your insurance company and you file a claim and they ask you about date of loss, tell them honestly, you're not in the weather industry, you don't track storms, you don't know what size hail came through. All you know is you've had a contractor come by, or multiple, and they told you have damages and you're concerned about your home. They will say, I understand, and they'll send out an adjuster to do their investigation. And that's our recommendation for the day. Again, my name is Sean with Epic Construction, and we'd love to help you out in the future. Give us a call.